Hey everyone, all right. So, after that immense look at Tony Bennett, I needed a break. We're doing the Searchers, man. We're going into my territory again. We're back into the classic rock. So, the Searchers take me for what I'm worth. I read the back here. It didn't say what order this was released in or which number vinyl or what album this was. There's some cool write up stuff on the back. A little bit for each band member. I'm not going to get into that because that's stuff that I think the ladies would be more interested than I'm interested in because, look at those handsome, fine young men from the UK. All right. The Searchers. So 1963 is when the group from Liverpool called The Searchers released the number one Sweets for My Sweet. That is the big detail on here, 1963. When they released their first single, it shot to the number one position in the charts, became and got this band off the ground. Now, I've heard of the Searchers, and I didn't realize. Now, there's no writing credits anywhere on here, unfortunately. So I'm assuming the band wrote all this themselves, but I do not know. Feel free to correct me if you guys know in the comments. That's what the comment section's for. The Searchers, I always thought was actually a California surf band. So when I found out it was a band from the UK, which I learned from on here, I was impressed. This would have been the same time as early Beatles, early Who, early Rolling Stones, has a lot of that sound in there. I can kind of see why those bands kept going forward and the Searchers kind of fell behind, because with 1963, this was kind of like a cross between the Beach Boys and the Beatles. To me, I hear a little bit of the Who in there as well, early Who. And if this wasn't their first album and they had released some stuff before that, which by the sounds of it they did, there was at least, if I'm going by this, there was at least one album and one EP before this. I don't know if there was a lot of evolution going on in the band at that time. It's hard to say. I'd have to get my hands on some more albums from the Searchers and figure this out. What I did hear on here, I'm about 50-50 with the Searchers. I'm not sure if I would go out buying any more from them or not based off of this, but it wasn't bad. There's one song on here I'm assuming is a cover. If they did the original version of it, I'd be surprised. Once again, I really hate that there's no credits on here at all. All right, so first song on here is I'm Ready. This is a good rock tune. I really enjoy this one. I thought it was, it's got a good kick to it, a good jump and grab you and get going. It does what it's supposed to do. It grabs you on the album. It's also probably one of the fastest songs on the album. One of the most, probably the most fast, the most upbeat, in-your-face kind of rock and roll kind of tune. Then you get into I'll Be Doggone. I kind of really dug this one. There's the wording choices in this song, I'll be doggone or I'll be long gone. I really dig that, man. Using words that just aren't used anymore and, honestly could probably come back. I really, really enjoyed this song. This was one of the ones that really kind of jumped out and grabbed me. Does She Really Care? Didn't really do much for me. It's Time didn't really do much for me. Too Many Miles grabbed me. This one had a very folksy kind of vibe to it. In a lot of ways, I'm going to say was the inspiration for Jethro Tull. Definitely has that folksy kind of roxy, floutsy kind of sound going on that I definitely know better for Jethro Tull. But what I know Jethro Tull doing, and most of it is definitely after this at some point. You Can't Lie to a Liar. That one wasn't bad. Found that it finished it off the first side half decently. I was kind of getting into it. Don't You Know Why wasn't bad, I guess. I'm Your Loving Man was okay. Each Time, all right. Be My Baby. Be my little baby, be my little doll. That song. Oh man, I hope I don't get copyright struck for singing that much. I never know how that crap's gonna work. So, Be My Baby, as I don't know who originally did it, but I do know other versions of it. I don't know where it came from. Maybe it was the Searchers that did it first. Maybe it was someone else that did it first. Didn't look into it hard enough before doing this review. Let me know in the comments down below if you know. I was really surprised to hear this. This one I thought was pretty too many words at the same time. I thought Be My Baby, this version of it was pretty cool. My complaint though is the production on this version of it. It felt, compared to a lot of the other songs on this album, felt really kind of pulled back and well, not very good. You know, I'd like to get my hands on the originals. Like, I'm hoping to God it was originally recorded on reel to reel, and I'd love to get my hand on the reel to reel and remaster it. Four Strong Winds. I remember kind of listening to it when the album was playing, but I think I was only paying attention to it because it came after Be My Baby, and that's it. And then the last song on the album is Take Me for What I'm Worth, and I really dug this one. One of those songs that really kind of calls to you as a guy, where it's, you know, you look at someone and say, take me for what I'm worth. You know, don't expect more from me. Don't try and make more of me. Take me for what I'm worth. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I went with it. This was an interesting one, and this one did not come from my family. This actually came out of a friend's collection that just kind of got left here over the years, and I thought this was a pretty enjoyable listen for a degree. To a degree, it's not an album I'd put on too often, and I'll be honest, if that friend doesn't eventually come back and claim this could end up going out in a sale somewhere along the way. Just not one I feel the need to have in my collection. I don't know. That could just be me though. What do you think, folks? Am I being too hard on this? Should I give this album another try? That's what the comment section's before, as well as to correct me on the details I asked earlier. On your way down there, you're going to see a like button, a subscribe button, a bell for notification. Please hit those. I'd appreciate that. That helps me out. It helps you out. It helps everybody out. There's also a couple links down below. Peace, love, take care.